in on this display, and this is deeply uncomfortable. Bob is hanging in his straps, making sure he's in control of the aircraft being battered by the wind. This is Bob's second year with the Tutor display. He's operating at a base height of 300 feet, except for the two final passes at just 100 feet. The next manoeuvres are the ballistic rolls, which Bob can use to gain energy for the next part of the sequence. Displaying the Tutor requires careful energy management due to its low power-to-weight ratio. When not displaying the Tutor, Bob is a qualified flying instructor, or QFI, on 115 Squadron based at RAF Wittering, where he trains frontline pilots into fellow Tutor QFIs. During his very varied career, Bob has amassed over 8,000 flying hours on 15 different aircraft types. This represents almost a full year in the air. After completing his half Cuban, Bob will enter a 4-point roll. Get your cameras ready for some great angles. In the 4-point roll, Bob delicately uses the rudder, supporting the nose above the horizon while flying at 90-degree angle of bank. Next, another wing over, a combined pitching and rolling manoeuvre used to turn the flight path through 180 degrees. You'll notice that every wing over is slightly different as Bob carefully caters his flight path for differing wind conditions and aircraft energy states. Bob now rolls 90 degrees while pointing straight up before completing a stall turn at almost zero airspeed, stalling the aircraft at only 900 feet above the ground. The two 90-degree turns allow Bob to continue in the same direction. The Tutor is operated by No. 6 Flying Training School in partnership with Babcock International, primarily flying University Air Squadron students and RAF Air Cadets. There are 13 air experience flights across the UK that offer flights up to 20,000 cadets each year. This could be you if you're between 13 and 20 years old. 50 air cadets a year are now being taught to fly the Tutor up to solo standard, completing it flying the aircraft on their own. After this conventional stall turn, Bob's now entering a slow roll. This unique yellow and black Tutor, it's one of one in Air Force service, was originally a trial paint scheme to provide a high contrast, but it became popular air shows and therefore we've kept it. It's been nicknamed the Bumblebee. Our other display aircraft is red, white and blue and has the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund heart on its belly, seen since 2022 to celebrate this fantastic charity. The Benevolent Fund supports Royal Air Force personnel, air cadets and veterans wherever they are in need. We're so proud to raise awareness for a charity that does so much for the whole of the RAF family. Visit our tent, website or our Tutor display leaflets or access a QR code to donate to the Benevolent Fund. Every little helps. For those of you that are considering going to university, there are 15 university air squadrons across the UK. On the squadrons, students are taught to fly the Tutor by highly experienced military flying instructors like Bob. And it is worth mentioning that the UAS syllabus is 80 hours of free flying instruction and does include solo aerobatics. Members are not committed to a military career after graduation, however many do decide for a career in maritime patrol aircraft as well as UK Space Command. They will soon be joined by the introduction of airborne early warning aircraft introduced at Priat, E7 Wedgetail and newly remotely piloted capabilities with Protector. The high tempo of operations continues today with aircraft and personnel deployed around the world, operating with NATO and our other allies. Visit the RAF website to find out more about our professions, including, but not limited to, aircrew, air operations controllers, engineers, medics, cyberspace specialists and many more. We're now in the final section of our display with an oblique loop and then a half Cuban. The oblique loop, as you've just seen, putting the aircraft in plan form to the ground twice. I'd like to take this moment to say a big thank you to our supporters this season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2025 Tutor display. Give them a wave.
Yeah, brilliant stuff indeed. Thanks, Seb. And another very competent display there from Bob Hughes. Really top stuff. I'm just absolutely